Wera tools. F4 British Championship certified by FIA. And this grid is going to be set by the outright results of qualifying. So if you're the fastest man in qualifying, then you get to take pole position for race number 3. We'll go through the grids very, very shortly in a moment. But look at the result earlier on. It was a brilliant win for Adam Al-Azhari for Rodin Motorsport, from Rowan Campbell-Pilling for JHR Developments. Tommy Harfield, who came into the weekend as the championship leader, ex-Fiesta Junior racer. He is currently, he finished 3rd, and it was a rookie win for Thomas Behrman ahead of Xavier Avramidis and Henry Mercier of Argenti. Cars making their way now out of the assembly area, round to the grid. As we said, this grid is set by the results of the full results of qualifying, so fastest man from qualifying will be on the front row of the grid. That is James Pajic, the Australian driver. He'll have Ethan Jeff Hall alongside him on the front row. Martin Molnar, who's had quite a decent run of results in the first couple of races, but he himself is going to be starting from P3 for this one, alongside Fian McLaughlin. And it's August Raber and Henry Jocelyn from Thomas Behrman, Tommy Harfield, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, and Al-Azhari from the top 10. It's practically a reversal of what we had the results from that first race, which is intriguing to see. But Richard is hot footed now from podium interviews for the Brit car drivers straight into F4 mode, and slightly sort of more grey and overcast conditions that we had earlier on for our first 2 races, Richard. That might affect things like tyre temperatures and pressures going forwards. But now we get to see James, who put an impressive drive yesterday afternoon in the first race, back on the front row again, looking to try and make it 2 from 3 this weekend here on the Grand Prix circuit. Yeah, and this could set a real benchmark, couldn't it, for the championship? Because to be fair, when we left Donington Park, we didn't really know what this season was going to give us. And then, obviously, coming today, we had, double pole for Jimmy Pajic, the young Aussie, coming back for his 2nd season in British F4. He was with us 2 years ago. Everyone was asking, what did he do last year? He actually went out and did his home country F4 championship, and he's the reigning F4 Aussie champion. I think you might be doing a bit of Aussie F4 in AU4 in a couple of, there's a brand new kind of concept I think about that AU4, which I think is happening, which is a mixture, I think, of these. I'm sure someone who's part of the championship or someone who knows better will tell me if I'm wrong. I think it's a combination of these Tartar chassis and some of the older Miguel chassis that were used in the initial incarnation of what we know as British F4, back when it started back in MSA Formula, when it was known back in 2015, when it had just taken over from what was the British Formula Ford Championship. So good to see some Australian talents in the mix, and James is certainly doing himself and his team and that series in many cases and his country very proud by being towards the front and showcasing himself to be a pretty prominent young talent.
Yeah, he is very much, and it was great to see. It's great to see drivers come back for a 2nd season, because you can have the rookie year and build on that and learn and then come back. But he did it the other way. He did the first year and then obviously having a year away and then coming back this year. So it was a really pleasant surprise to have him back, and he's a really good young character, and as I say, he starts on pole. But we've got to be very careful, though, because alongside we've got the Argenti Motorsport runner Ethan Jeff Hall, the reigning Ginetta Junior champion. Doesn't have the rookie category for Ethan Jeff, although he is a single-seater rookie. He's had a full season of car racing with Ginetta Junior. But he is an F4 rookie, but not by the championship definition of that. Behind him, the man that won the championship last year, the rookies, that is Martin Molnar, the young Hungarian driver. Extremely personable young man, really good little peddler. Great crasher. First time I saw his crash yesterday when they were in the holding area, and he's got this lovely intricate design. I'm not a fan of the intricate design. I can't like the old school solid colours.
Like simpler designs, yeah.
Yeah, but his is mega. It's got like tyre tracks across the top, which of course we hope he never experiences.
Yeah.
But then he's got clocks either side of that. So he's kind of got the nod of the tyre and the race thing, and then the timing element of the racing as well on his crash, which is great. Martin running very strongly in the championship at the moment as well, so he's within the top 6. And then on the outside of row 2, we've got Fian McLaughlin in the Red Bull livery. Here's the grid. Fian on row 2. He's rookie, as you can see from the yellow background number. August Raber is next up from Henry Jocelyn. Then it's Tom Behrman, Tommy Harfield from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Top 10 wrapped up by Adam Al-Azhari, Joel Bergstrom, Xavier Avramidis, getting used to pronunciation. Chase Fernandez and Leo Robinson next up from Henry Mercier, Yuhao Fu, Charlie Edge, Cole Hewitson, Esme Kosterman, and Piotr Orozowski. So Esme and Piotr making their debut in the championship this weekend. I think Esme we will see at Zandvoort as well, doing the 2 GP circuits. But not anything else, so not really part of the challenge part of the competition. Piotr will be with us at the event that Erbe Larsen, the Danish racer, nearly got the accent right there, will be away on Formula One Academy duties, which she is on this weekend. So great to have a chance to commentate on F4 with you, Scott. And
yes.
What's money on, mate?
Ooh, interesting. Spot there now. Well, James Pagic obviously is someone who has made some good results initially. There's a lot of great young talents here. I mean, I looked at two of the drivers who were prominent in Ginesta Juniors last year. You know, Ethan Jeff Hall and also Chase Fernandez. They can pick their way through and showed their skills in a rear-wheel drive Ginesta sports car. Now, of course, in a slightly different rear-wheel drive G, a little bit more aero. It does appear to be one of those things so far. Test that you've seen in the last few years up close. It does appear to be one of those particularly talent-stacked fields this year in terms of the variety of drivers. Great, we've got a proper, truly international field, but also as well, it feels a bit more unpredictable in terms of that you don't have the predictable front runners. It's like, it feels like, again, there's a good 6, 8, maybe 10 drivers that have a genuine chance of at least getting onto the podium and scoring a victory. I might be a bit boring and going saying my initial thought is probably James Pagic because he's won race 1 earlier on and was pretty strong in race number 2 earlier on today. So you want to try and keep that win streak up. Maybe a dark horse, possibly Ethan Jeff Hall. He's been a nice transition from what I can see from Ginesta Juniors into these single seaters, and not I'm sure you're test for like we're seeing up close. Sometimes not all drivers that come from like a tin top or a GT like a Ginesta Junior or even a Fiesta Junior, not all of them transition from that class of car to a single seater quickly enough to be on the pace immediately from the word go. Whereas Ethan and at least Chase at least both seem to have got the knack of it with enough testing, enough insight and enough proper adaptation to that over the winter, but they seem to be on the ball with it pretty quickly against some of these drivers that, like James for example, has raced single seaters for the last 2 or 3 years and has it almost down to a T.
Absolutely right. You know, the infrastructure is there around the formula now, and obviously you need budget to go testing. But you also need the thing like the coaches and driver managers that will help you with that. I know my ITV colleague Phil Blue is involved in management of drivers, and one driver on here as well. So, you know, there is that as well. Safety car pulls over and we get the cars coming up into line. But yeah, Ethan Jeff Hall has been very, very good at making the transition. So he's going to be running well here. Championship-wise, August Raber, he starts back in 5th position. Say back, it's not that far, is it? 5th position for August Raber. He's the provisional championship leader at the moment. Fiona McLaughlin 2nd, and he's 4th on the grid. So we've got the potential championship battle there, 4th and 5th on the grid as we look at the number 6 car. That's Leo Robinson. Leo won, as I mentioned in the first race of the day, won the on the away day. We call this an away day from Toka. The GP circuit last year, and I think Leo's been a little bit frustrated. We can expect really, really big things from him as the season unfurls. But after today, we're 2 rounds in. I can't believe we're at round 6 of the 30 already, 5th of the way through the championship already. So as we look at them, to the left of shot, 2nd position on the grid is Ethan Jeff Hall, the white car with the blue cowling going up from the tip of the nose, then the black and white 93, the Rodin Motorsport machine of Jimmy Pagic. Are we going to make it a Rodin wipeout here? This is the question, remember. But away we go. The lights are out. We've got a staller on the grid. That could cause problems. Fingers crossed that everybody manages to see that. It's a great start by Jimmy P. Ethan Jeff Hall, I think, making it through in 2nd position. Chase Fernandez goes for the big run round the outside. A little bit of track limits, of course, if that persists through the race. But turn 1, it's crowded. We can allow him probably the luxury of that. Fiona McLaughlin is in 4th place at the moment. And I think we've got Martin Molnar in the mix. Did Martin make it up into P2? I think he did. It's more blue, isn't it, Martin's car? And Phil McLaughlin now looking for 3rd place. So he's in the chasing group of cars. The 3rd car, 4th car now as we look at them coming down towards Stowe corner for the first time. And the leading pair, Scott, starting to break away. A little bit of a lock up there from, it was Ethan Jeff Hall, so we did lose out. Martin Molnar, cracking start from Martin, the young Hungarian driver. He's looking for a first win in the championship as well, and I'm rubbing my hands together, metaphorically and literally. We've got a race on our hands here.
Definitely so. Just going back to the start as well, I think it was possibly Charlie Edge, which wasn't still Chris Dittman car, the red and black of that was the stop, so he was right on the back of 17, so Charlie Edge was there. Another Chris Dittman car was going over the curb on the exit there, trying to pick his way through. That might well have been either Piotr Orzechowski or possibly Tommy Harfield a little bit further back. It might have been Harfield because Orzechowski's a bit further back there. So Harfield getting in the mix, stuck in 2 or 3 cars going off the road completely. Several cars have completely forgotten where the track is. They've run across the road at Abbey and Farm Corner. They just insert themselves back into the circuit, right into the complex here at the Village in the Loop. And bit tight through the village and Loop Complex up onto the Wellington Straight for the first time. The Wera cars getting in there too. There's Chase Fernandez a little bit further back, deep in the top 10 as they make their way down the Wellington Straight. It's side by side for Malik as McLaughlin has the inside line, but Martin Molnar trying to squeeze his way around the outside. McLaughlin covers the line off, so it'll be an attempt for the switchback for Molnar. It's Jeff Hall, in fact, actually.
That's for third place, that one.
Yeah, because Molnar's a bit further up the road. You're absolutely right. So Jeff Hall trying to go for third. McLaughlin's held on for the time being as they come across. And you might have got top four have broken away. That next group, which is headed by one of the high-tech cars, is trying to squeeze forwards to get into fifth position as they came side by side across the line for third. It's Pajiki leads, Molnar second, McLaughlin just ahead of Jeff Hall. It's then fifth position. It's Leo Robinson. That can't be right. He started 14 on the grid. He's up to fifth.
This is the form we knew from Leo Robinson last year. As we look at the podium battle going on at the moment, so McLaughlin, who's making a habit of getting on podiums and taking rookie wins as well. Top rookie in this one. Xavier Avamidis second in rookies. Tom Spearman on for another podium, potentially in the rookies, running third in that category. And make no apologies for having a look at the first-year drivers and seeing how they're doing, because they may move on next year, but they may well be back. This is where I guess the main action is at the moment. Ethan Jeffel really putting Fiona McLaughlin under pressure. McLaughlin we met in the Ginetta Junior Scholarship, as I mentioned, in race number 1 of the day, and was a finalist there. Very good. I can't remember who won it the year that he did that scholarship, but didn't come with Ginetta race. He went off and carried on with karting. Not done him any damage because he's part of the member of the Academy, as you can see.
Seeing there, that's Thomas Behrman, young brother of Ollie Behrman, of course now in F1. Of course, competed this weekend at the Miami Grand Prix. He's battling with Henry Jocelyn, another graduate from Ginetta Juniors. So good to see another one of them doing well within the top 10. They're battling over not the bottom of the top 10 in 9th position at the moment. Scraps going on, someone diving up the inside one of the Roding cars, then making a move there against one of the Fortec cars that was also in there too. There's a scrap for third. It looks though that Finn's just pulled away a slight couple of car lengths from Ethan Jeff Hall here. Top two are pretty much gone away, but you'd be thinking, given they're that far ahead, some 3 seconds, that this is the fight for the lead, but it's not. It's the third place. There are still 2 cars a little further ahead. It's quite close to Robinson and Campbell Pilling as well. They came across the line last time, 6 seconds by. It does appear that Pajika's got this under control here. The next best of the battle you can see here, just coming through, is between Robinson and Campbell Pilling. And lots of skirmishes going on outside the top 10 here. You've got that's 12 coming through 26. So that is Adam Alajavi, who won the race earlier on today, fighting hard with Henry Jocelyn, slipped back from P6 on the grid.
Henry Jocelyn had double pole at Wellington Park.
Front wing missing. That's from 33.
That's
sorry,
Hewitson.
Cole Hewitson. Sorry to cut across, but I spotted
okay.
Cole Hewitson missing front wing and only just about making Cox with limited downforce.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Cole is down in 13th place at the moment. Theo Palmer haven't called out yet in the 14. Theo on the grid. He wasn't qualified, so he's been on the back of the grid, Theo. Yeah, 21st. You've got a properly printed grid, which is the great thing tonight. I'm going on the timing sheet, which is what I tend to do because I find it easy to read. Theo wasn't on that, so we welcome Theo Palmer to the grid. He didn't start yesterday, so I might not have called him in the earlier race, but it's good to have him in the 4th XL car, so XL up to all 4 cars racing with us this weekend. And the reason he wasn't at Donington, in case you're wondering, is because 15 able to join us in some different wing holes.
Definitely. Not bad for the back because he started back in 23rd, 7th place to 14th was now Henry Jocelyn getting pretty feisty with that's the 12 of Azari. And again, this is over 10th position, it's the final top 10 spot, and Jocelyn using all of his know-how from going wheel to wheel in Ginetta Juniors. More exposed to British F4, so be careful not to go touch wheels too much. Just trying to force the issue. Azari going defensive. The Emirati driver just holding the line. Jocelyn goes clean around the outside, over the curb into the arena section. Through the loop he goes, makes the move stick, but he might get beaten on the undercut as Alazari pulls the Roding car at the level. There was a Chris Dittman car off the road and to the side. Who was that? That was possibly, was that the car that stalled earlier on at the beginning of the race? That maybe Charlie Edge potentially. We'll come back to that in a second, because now we see also the XL car just behind. That's Cole Hewitson. No, is it Cole Hewitson? No, it's not. Who's just behind them? Sorry, that's the 21 car just behind them, which is Tommy. Is it, no, it's an XL car, but I think it's out of position, because that's the battle that's going on between Alazari and Jocelyn. That's a car further back. That's 21 that stopped. Was it 20? It's 27. Sorry, so I think that is Charlie.
So it's Charlie Edge. Isn't it?
It's
so
Charlie Edge. No, is it Harfield? because he's Chris Dittman, isn't he?
If it's a yellow background, then it's Charlie Edge, and he's a rookie. So
no, I think he was 21. I think it was Tommy Harfield. So Tommy Harfield, I think, has stopped. Yeah, in fact, he's dropped down to 19th. It is Tommy Harfield then. So the man that came into the weekend, the championship leader, at least on what I can see, is out of the race with looks like some kind of rear suspension damage.
I'll tell you what, again, what difference to me a week makes. You know, going from being the championship leader, step up on the leaders, Jimmy Pizik, Martin Nolan, Phil McLaughlin third down with fastest lap. Then Ethan Jeff Hall going through fourth position. So Ethan heading up towards a podium. Then it's Avramidez, Xavier Avramidez next up in the number 4 car. In the 7th race, Chase Fernandez in 8th. You see the cars up for a week break. As I say, Dock was in part last week here at Silverstone this week, so very quick turnaround for the teams. But now they get a 3-week break because we see them again weekend in the PTCC weekends at Snetterton, which historically, if you're planning a day out, make sure you come up to, or down wherever you are, to Norfolk and Snetterton for that, because it's usually a blazing weekend. Having said that, given that thought, it will probably rain a lot. But I make no apologies, just come along and it'll be a good weekend. There's Chase Fernandez at the moment in the number 90 car being chased by Thomas Beerman, set up the yellow number on the background. Did race with this last year, a couple of races towards the end of last season, but with limited experience can come in as a rookie. Chase is a single-season rookie and did 2 seasons in Ginetta Juniors, won the Ginetta Scholarship a couple of years ago. And Beerman looking pretty handy here, goes to the outside run as they go down into Brooklyn. Chase Fernandez giving him room, and Beerman's going to hang on to the outside. David Beerman's going to be very pleased with that move, watching for sure. Lovely to see David here, another ex-BRSEC member, and enjoying watching his sons racing. Good move, great racing between the pair of them.
That was excellent. I think Chase Martin put his hand up a little bit to say, look, I'll give you that room as I can, but that was really good next to him. Down the outside, held the line, put himself fully alongside, so he basically gave Chase no choice but getting the line on the inside, and a really nice executed move for Thomas. Not sure I think his dad would be pleased. I'm sure if Ollie sees that, he'll be pretty chuffed at that too. So,
yeah, Beerman needs to chase down the car in front of him now, which is Avramidez, who's second in the rookies. Then want to get further up. Of course, we want a rookie win. Get on terms with Finn McLaughlin, who's running in third place, but it's Pizik 1.2 seconds clear of Martin Molnar, Finn McLaughlin next up. And we're kind of now, as you get into race 6 of the campaign, beginning to get that, not a familiar look to it, but it's all beginning to, you know, we're not surprised now that Jimmy's there. We're not surprised that Martin Molnar's there. We're not surprised that Phil McLaughlin is there as well. It'd be good to see Ethan Jeff Hall close up. So he's got a second or so to catch up on Phil McLaughlin at the moment. Past the Strickland car, it's a good spot by the way. Big show for him as the championship leader coming in. No drop scores in these 30 relentless races for the F4 lads and girls that take part over the course of the season. DNF early doors is not a great thing, but it's a character building for a lot of them. Safety car deployed now, presumably after due consideration by the team on Tommy Harfield's car. So I know I can hear Phil Glee's like, oh, it takes a long time to scramble it, but the race organisers will be looking at the situation. They know that has not been a problem, but they want to alleviate a potential problem, having considered it, and considered is the optimum word there, I think, Scott. They've thought about it, considered it. Although everyone knows where it is, let's move it now, get the car out of the way and to safety and not cause any problems going forward.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. You have to take these decisions quite carefully and calculated. So obviously, race control looked at it. Admittedly, I did look at that and think it has to have a wheel on the racetrack, so it was in a slightly precarious position. Yeah. But good to see that they have managed to do that. The snatch vehicle just in the background has its lights in place, so I'm sure when it gets the call to go and retrieve the car, they will do so. So James Pizik then has his what was I guess a couple of second lead now has been reduced to practically nothing.
Good news for Martin Molnar, isn't it?
It is, and also for the rest that were chasing, because we had Finn McLaughlin and Ethan Jeff Hall were together, so they could get in the mix. And what I did notice lap time-wise on the last proper flying lap before we had the safety car come out, the top 6 had lap times that were all pretty much about 2 to 3 tenths within each other, so very evenly matched in the top 6 at the moment in terms of pace. Did see a fastest first sector, I think, from Rowan Campbell Pilling at one point. Given the last couple of laps, he's both moving quite nicely. But the safety car had a chance to neutralise things. We had a safety car in race 1 yesterday. Do you have one in race 2 earlier today as well?
I can't remember. I think we might have had a brief one.
Possibly, yeah. So safety, if that's his safety car interruption on 3 races. So this is one of those situations again with a safety car, particularly young drivers like this, where all their adrenaline's up, they're pushing hard, they're real focused, and then you get kind of brought out of that zone brief because you have to then run at a reduced speed. You've got to try and keep the tyre pressures up, brake pressures up. Your mindset changes a little bit. Everything starts to slow down, to calm down a little bit. Of course, when you're racing drivers, their minds work so quickly to the fact that what looks like 100 miles an hour for some, it will look like 30 to them, because their brains can process things so much quicker once they get into that flow state. Once they're on the safety car, they're going at actual 30, 40 miles an hour, so their brains are going to be going overdrive because they're full of adrenaline, full pumped up, ready to go. And then that's a lull for a brief few laps, and then they're going to try and refocus themselves, particularly the driver that's in the lead position, because of course they have to become the safety car once it decides to come in. They've got to pull the pin and decide when this race gets back underway. So ultimately for James Pagic, he's got time now just to pull himself off a little bit, just follow the safety car, keep the tyre pressures, brake pressures and temperatures in that optimal range whilst he's around. Once the race gets underway, he's going to refocus, really lock in, then go once again to try and consistently support over the front lights off. Martin Oliver, who's gone with the early part of this race, Phil McLaughlin, and then even Jeff Hall, who've had their own battle for their place on top of that, as well as the likes of Tia Robinson and Rowan Campbell-Pilling, are all going to be pushing pretty hard. That front six, if they're getting a chance to stay together, it could be a pretty tasty fight in the second half of the race.
Yeah, you summed that up absolutely brilliantly, Scott. I've got to say, there's the recovery done very quick. That's a great thing about a long lap here, isn't it? That you maybe just get the one lap behind the safety car. Felt for Tommy Harfield, he was really made up to be on the podium earlier on, and told us a little bit about what it's like moving up from Fiesta Juniors. He was going to have a couple of rounds last year, but had an injury, got an injury in F4. It was testing, and
it was a hand or a wrist injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he missed out on
to miss a couple of rounds.
Missed out on F4 and FJC as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah, but
which was a shame.
And that was only off the back of his first victory. I think at Croft, if I'm correct. He took his first victory, so he proved himself. And I think as well, I'm going to add to my extra Anarakiness on this one, is that I think he was racing. I'm certain he was racing the same car that Ben Moore Ryan took the title the year before in 2023. So it was a championship-winning car Tommy had underneath him, but actually was able to put that back to victory lane and take a victory. I think a couple of victories that weekend at Croft. And it was a shame that he had that hand injury that kind of, I think, put him out for technically, unfortunately, the rest of the season as a whole, which is a shame to see. But good to see him back racing. Unfortunate piece of luck for him, Tommy, but good to see him. Another driver who stepped up from that ranks into British F4, one of the best alumni of that in recent times. Joseph Lope, of course he went through. He's done, went through into GB3. He was the winner of the Autosport Aston Martin BRDC Young Driver Award, got the test in the F1 car, and now he's plying his craft. Well, he was plying it in GB3. I think he's now a McLaren factory GT driver this year. So he's really stepped up well, developed in the last few seasons. And the amazing thing to think of course, he's come through British F4 and done his part. But from a BRDC perspective, all started for him as a tiny young lad in 2019 when he debuted in Fiesta Juniors. I think it was at Pembrey. And I remember his first race when he was... the first couple of cars came through the final corner, and his just blue Fiesta just came shooting off onto the grass on the outside and bounding its way on the grass coming back through. But by the end of the season, he was a race winner. He then came into 2020, disrupted the season, of course, but he came into 2020, he won. No one's ever done this since, even though it was only 8 races. He won every single race in 2020, dominated the championship, was the champion. I think he went forward and has done some great things since then. He's one of a few drivers that, from a BRDC perspective, have used this championship as a stepping stone to go forwards into single season.
That's a very respected name in British F4, of course, raced with the JHR team who are with us as ever. JHR running top one at the moment is Rowan Campbell in 6th position. Safety double coming in this lap, so just 2 long laps for these drivers. Past the Porsche Centre in the background. Used to be a rally sprint, which you enjoy working at back in the day. There's some really terrific events there under the great John Taylor looking after us. Great fun there, but a good place to go if you fancy a wee bit of a day out. So much to do. Silverstone looking wonderful at the moment with the kart facility being built. That's going to be so exciting to see. But the excitement building here. Now, who's going to have the problem here on the restart? Who's going to be under the most pressure? Is it Jimmy Pazzi as the man leading the things? Martin Nolan, he's got a chase. As we saw in the races earlier on, was going to be Phil McLaughlin, who's got Jeff behind him, who's got pace. McLaughlin, though, is the fastest on the track, so 2:02, 2:43 for the young Irish driver. He's the top rookie. He's looking for his first win, and it ain't going to be too long coming, I don't think. But we'll see how it plays out. Jimmy Pazzi will have been in this situation before. As I say, wonderful to have the Australian driver back with us. Martin Molnar, the 16-year-old Hungarian driver, still has to be chaperoned everywhere at 16. Talking to some of these drivers, you know, it is very, very international, the F4 Championship. Drivers flying in from everywhere. can't remember which driver it was. One of them said he did 47 flights last year from home, to come and race, which is a phenomenal amount of travel, and that's obviously with testing as well. So it's a big ask for these youngsters, and of course schooling very often is done separately. I know Minerva homeschooling do look after a lot of the drivers, but the lights are out now. Jimmy Pezik is going to be very well thinking about what he needs to do. I'm guessing he's going to go on the turn. You can almost hear the wheels clunking in his mind. Here he goes, he's gone. So I think he timed that reasonably well, but he hasn't left Martin Molnar. Martin reacted very well to that on the restart. Finn McLaughlin as well. And again, as I said in race number 1, sometimes when they come out of this all in the same order, equal spaced, you think, well, that wasn't very good, was it? But the truth is, they've all done a good job.
One thing I'm intrigued about is what can Thierry Robertson do from 5th? Remember, he started back in 14th on the grid, currently in P5. Safety cars massively benefited him. Is there any chance he can get in amongst this battle going on between McLaughlin and Jeff Hall? Dare I say, can he go for a podium? He's on the back of Jeff Hall already, so it's a good restart for the youngster from Thierry Robertson from Pakistan, for high-tech TGR. They turn their way out through Magus Beckett's and Chapel on the restart. Just under 7.5 minutes to go. Strong restart from Jimmy Pezik. Molnar's gone with him, and so too is McLaughlin. So, unlike in the first couple of laps that we just saw in the initial start, she hasn't got away too much too quickly. Pressure on now, because now Leah Robinson, he was battling for 4th place in the back of Jeff Hall. He's now got all the pressure from Rowan Campbell-Pilling, I think. It's been he's still holding off Rowan Campbell-Pilling here at 42, excuse me. And so turn the way out to Vale Club. Was on attack, down the fence, and the rest of the pack streaming behind. This is the battle we see from also 2 links between Behrman, Fernandez and Jostin. So there's been Behrman, Fernandez and Alazari. Jostin's in there as well too.
Jostin, coached by James Cornell, and a bit of a difficult task here for Henry Jostin this year because he's with Forte. He's a lone driver in the team. A lot of the other drivers could share data as best they can, but the likes of Henry Jostin, Martin Molnar and Virtuosi, the only driver in Virtuosi this year as well. But Leo Robertson's going to be interested to see what he can do. He's joined Anglo-Algerian nationality, Leo Robinson. But great to see him. That's all right. Great to see him getting the pace that we knew he had last year. The race car back up and all braking there from Ryan Campbell-Pilling in the 42 car. I did ask him if that had anything to do with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I haven't, but I know what it means.
You know what it means. But it's actually the reason he picked it was when he was karting, and it's the addition of the day of the month that he was born and the month that he was born. I think it's the 20th of December. 20, actually can't be, that's 12, isn't it? So 12 and 30th of December. 30th of December. Tell how good at maths I am, can't you, Scott? So that's what 42 comes from. But he has had a lot of people asking whether it was reference to the great Douglas Adams story. And if there are any youngsters watching this, probably haven't delved into that. It's well worth a look. So great fun to read if you want to do that. But Pezik out front from Molnar, McLaughlin, as you were before the start of the race, as they head away from us again, equally distant. I'll tell you what, Pezik has reclaimed this with 5 minutes to go in fine fettle, hasn't he?
Certainly has. He's got a gap of 7/10 of a second over Molnar in 2nd place at this point. And still, it's quite tight between McLaughlin and Jeff Hall. McLaughlin still holds the fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes 2.243. But Pezik has just put in the fastest first second of anyone on this lap. And a personal best finish of the Molnar. So it's not just to turn up the rig a little bit more than these last 5 minutes. Why they think the chase for Fernandez. Yeah, he was ahead of Henry Jostin. Alazari was there too, ahead of the 23 of Gio Palmer, who again, impressive run so far. Started the back of him 21st. This is now, you see Fernandez going good with Jostin. Jostin went round the outside. This is shades of Janessa Juniors last year between these two. Jostin sweeps across and takes the place, forces them both to lock up, and now here behind them come both the 12 and the 23. This is now Alazari and Palmer. They're all getting into amongst each other. Now this is Alazari around the outside of Fernandez. Going to have to give him room as they squeeze wide, both of them with very similar livery cars. Here comes also behind them Thierry Palmer looking for a top 10 finish. Palmer gets the block put on by Fernandez. Down the outside comes Alazari, tries to hold on to it and almost closes, almost rubs wheels with Chase Fernandez. Almost lost my bearing there for a second. And it's now the 23 car of Palmer with Henry Mercier, we haven't talked about very much in this race, the young American. He's currently sat at 30th place on the back of the XL racing car. Meanwhile, in terms of faster laps, I told you it was probably going to be a new one. Both of the Pigic and Molnar dipping into sub 2 minute 2 seconds.
Yeah, both of those guys quick, and it was a case of Pigic doing it, maybe looking in his mirrors and responding to Martin Molnar in P2. Molnar having a good season, though. As he did last year, he snuck into the winning position in the rookies last year. At the sort of late doors, but you know, it was got to the lead towards the last round. If I remember going and congratulating him at Brands Hatch after the GP circuit round. But Rodin looking very good. It's wonderful to have Rodin back on top form, I've got to say. And yeah, new teams everywhere. Theo Palmer, as you say, doing a good job at the moment. He's running 4th in the rookies, so I don't think he's going to be, unless there's a problem for Tom Behrman and Xavier Avramidis, he's not going to get a podium in this one, but he's going to take great heart from being 4th in the rookies on his first time out, and beating Henry Mercier, who's had 2 rookie podiums this weekend as well. Chase Fernandez fending him off, so it's Fernandez from Palmer, Mercier, no relation to the Jonathan Palmer dynasty. I mentioned as well, a couple of people asked us that last weekend at Donington Park. Here's a Gabriel getting stuck in towards the back of the field, and
Headed by Esme Costner.
Esme's done well actually, because she was off the back of the grid. She's equipped to herself very little racing experience, Esme Costner. Has raced in, I think, minis. She's done a little bit of mini racing in the Netherlands, and I think he's going to be, has actually impressed me a great deal with what she's done this weekend, the first proper weekend in F4.
It's Charlie Edge going up the inside of Cole Hewitson. This is for him on the recovery after he stalled at the start of the race. He's going back, and that's safety car slipping going again. Big two back through. Big lock up.
Did Cole get his wing back in this race? Was that the early race?
I think he must have done. He must have
pitted in the safety car because we had 2 laps, didn't we? So.
Well, I think he pitted before that, but the safety car would have helped him closed up. So I think he's now back towards the tail of the field, which is good to see. New fast enough for the race again from Jimmy Pigic. And Molnar's practically on his pace, only a 10th off. On that last lap, it was fastest first and final sectors for Pigic, fastest second sector for Molnar. So they're trading literally sector by sector, fastest sectors at the moment, trying to get pace. There's still a second between the top two as we go on to what must be the final lap of the race now. Yes, pretty much. Through the sweeps and Baggett's, Beckett's and Chapel. It's the XL car still here. Through right-hander, but the leaders back down towards Stowe Corner for the final time. But the stalemate also in 3rd place. We saw that early scrap going on between Finn McLaughlin and Ethan Jeff Hall, but they've really kind of come together again. Their pace has been practically locked together. Last lap was separated by about literally a few thousandths of a second, and all of the top 6, about half the field, did personal best on the last lap. 3 and 4 cars, in fact, dipping into 2 and 3. The other 2 were Ethan Jeff Hall and Tara Roberts. Tara Roberts, so those 2 also race. Race meeting, so good stuff for them. Jimmy Pigic is going to be the man that they want to beat as they head to Snetterton next time out. He's going to take the championship lead with this one. He's trying to work out whether he is this one. Raber's out of the points, isn't he? So it's going to be 25 for Pigic. I think this will give the young Aussie the championship lead. So Rodin will be happy to be back at the top, and he might get potentially more points in judicials from race 3 from Donington Park as well. So this has really set a marker out for us as these leading cars come down into Brooklands for the last time. Martin Molnar's given a very good chase indeed. Phil McLaughlin still in 3rd, but Jimmy Pigic has controlled this one very well indeed for Rodin, putting all that second-year experience in the car to very good use indeed as he comes now up towards the checkered flag. There it is. Pigic does it. It's a Rodin hat-trick this weekend, and a hat-trick of wins in the 2025 season for Jimmy Pigic. Martin Molnar 2nd. Finn McLaughlin takes 3rd position from Ethan Jeff Hall and Leo Robinson. Leo back to 4th. Rowan Campbell-Pilling backs up his podium early with a 6th place. Then it was Tom Behrman. Behrman getting a rookie podium and beating Xavier Avramidis. That is all our podiums complete. So I'm talking of podiums, I probably need to away, and I'll leave you in the company of Scott Woodwis, possibly Andy, if he's here as well, to have a little bit of post-race digestion, or indigestion maybe, depending how quickly I understand. But thanks for your company, Scott. Been a real pleasure to call an F4 race with you. Likewise.
And I'll join you in a minute on the podium.
Likewise, definitely. It's been a pleasure to call one for the first time ever, so, and to do it amongst the voice of F4 has been fantastic to do, at least in this country, so thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Yes, excellent race for the Wera Tools F4 British Champion, certified by FIA. Of course, we'll see the next time out, that's Snetterton back on the BTCC package. Excellent performance for the weekend. Corona scored. Very pleased with them this weekend. 2 wins now for Jimmy Physique, 1 for Adam Hazard in the end. Of course, for the rookies, it's Field Block with a victory for Thomas Ben on the second lap last Southgate third. Touring around the pack and team formation. You see the XL cars together. You see them bunches together on the outside. So just to confirm the result. Jimmy Physique with the victory by 0.6 of a second from Martin Molnar, who took the fastest lap on the last lap of the race, 2 minutes 1.612. Then Finn McLaughlin in third from Ethan Jeff Hall in fourth. Finn also winning the rookie category. Then Theo Robinson, who put in a brilliant drive from what was 14th on the grid to fifth. He almost got a sniff at a podium, but managed to pick up P5. Rowan Campbell pinning sixth from Thomas Behrman in seventh place. Then Avramides in eighth, who was third in the rookie category. Henry Jocelyn was ninth. Adam Al-Azari 10th from Chase Fernandez. Then it was 12th place for Theo Palmer, who started at the back of the grid in 21st and picks up a P12, impressive run for him. 13th was Henry Mercier, 14th was Yu Hao Fu, then it was Cole Hewitson, who had to stop for changing front wing and finished 15th, from August Raber, who might be too pleased with that one, still picks the result, and then it's the rest of the order. So again, Physique and Molnar and Finn McLaughlin are the top three. McLaughlin, of course, also taking the rookie victory as well. Looking through the rest of the order, you can see there August Raber, Charlie Edge, who stalled at the start of the race, Esame Kosterman, and behind them is Peter Osakowski and Tommy Hartford, the only retirement from the race. The man who came into the weekend as the championship leader. So I think we can hand down to Richard John Neal in a moment's time. So let's see what Jimmy Physique and co thought of that race. Let's hand over to Richard John Neal for the top three for race number 3.
As you can see, Finn McLaughlin already down here and out of the car. Wasn't quite quickest on track today, but he's certainly quick getting out of the car. Martin Molnar on the other side, busy doing that. And Jimmy Physique, I think, was savouring the 93 car coming in. Our race winner was savouring the victory lap here, waving to the marshals and the fans that are around the track and enjoying things. Jimmy looking pretty cool. Rode in hat-trick this weekend. It's completely different complexion to last weekend, and well, we're going to have a great year ahead for sure. Really, really fantastic stuff to see. So Jimmy Physique goes out. I'm going to grab a quick word with Fionn as he's there. We'll do 3-2-1 this time. Fionn, sorry mate, let's grab a quick word. Good race?
Yeah, not bad. You know, I think I did the best job I could have. Ended up P3, so it's not bad.
Did you think you was in with the shout? Obviously we had the safety car, and it's difficult because you've got drivers behind you as well as you wanted to look ahead. Yeah,
I mean, they were definitely quite fast in front of me, but you know, the pace was definitely there. I think all this stems from qualifying. I think if you get a good quality, your life's just going to be a lot easier.
But first season, obviously, car racing, you're in the rookies. You won the rookies every race, haven't you, so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about the actual championship than the rookies. So, but I'm definitely doing a good job.
OK, well done, mate. I think you've got to go and get weighed. And, but congratulations on the rookie win and that position overall as well. Let's grab... Jimmy's not quite got his crash helmet on yet, so maybe we'll go to Martin Molnar. So we kind of trail... Oh, Jimmy has now. No, we'll swap over. As Martin's done... Martin's done Martin. Did you know that he's Martin as well? So, yeah. 2 Martins. Martin Molnar, I'll get out of the way of the camera. A good consistent start to the season for me, and you chased Jimmy really hard. We thought there was an opportunity with the safety car. How was it from your angle?
Yeah, we had a pretty good race, I think. Yeah, dropped back a little bit after the start. Probably didn't have the best of tyre prep. Yeah, after we settled down a little bit, and then when the safety car came, there was a new opportunity. But yeah, it's pretty hard to follow here in the dirty air, so yeah, couldn't really stay close. But towards the end of the race, I could start to catch back.
Got 3 weeks now before we go to Snetterton. We'll see you back with the touring cars. Is Snetterton a track you enjoyed last year?
Well, it was quite wet last year, so let's hope we will have a dry race this time. Yeah, that was my first wet race actually in a Formula car. Right. Yeah, hope I can get some better memories this time. Nice one.
Well done on P2. Great to see you. Thanks very much. Well, there's the crash helmet I was talking about as well in the commentary, Jeremy, if you can just see that. And the tyres there, and then the timepieces either side of it, a great livery, just to tell the drivers what we're... Thank you for that. And tell the viewers what we were talking about. Jimmy Physique doing the photo opportunity for P1. I'm gonna spoil the party here. Congratulations, another super win, Rodin hat-trick, and a hat-trick for you for this season.
Yeah, certainly. It's been a good season so far. I mean, I can't complain with getting the wins that we have. And yeah, Rodin's been quick all weekend. Adam getting the win in race 2, and we got 2 wins this weekend, so can't ask for anything better.
Is it party time? It's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? So, and we got Sunday and Monday. So you guys gonna chill out now and celebrate the weekend?
I mean, yeah, we're gonna chill out. I wouldn't say we're gonna party with it, but no, we're always going to be pushing forward as well. So we're going to be keep learning to see what we can do for the next race at Senat as well.
Okay, I think with August out of the points, I think that puts you at the top of the table now.
I mean, I don't know the results. I don't want to say anything too soon, but it could mean that. But it just means we need to keep pushing with the momentum we have at the moment.
I'll let you off with that one, Jimmy. Well done. Congratulations on taking the win. We've got to catch up with some rookies. We've spoken to Fionn already. Xavier is over there as well. So let's see if we can get Xavier. Xavier? Or Thomas Spearman? Thomas and Xavier? Is Thomas or Xavier? Oh, he's... Can we grab a quick word with you guys? Sorry to cut across. Let's have a quick word. Thomas, first of all, great progress in that one.
Yeah, I mean, was up to 5th on the start and got some unfortunate contact with another driver, and then there was also a spin at turn 1, so I had to avoid that and lost a few places, and then had to crawl my way back forward.
Great job. You must be really settling into these cars now.
Yeah, I think that race was good. I was fast. I just unfortunate to not get the result we deserved in the end, but yeah, it was a good race.
Nice one, Xavier. Another podium, so you've got to keep notching those up, which is good. I know probably like Fionn, you want to be up at the sharp end, but that's the job of the rookie, isn't it? It's the first year coming in, doing what you can and grabbing those points.
Yeah, I think just as long as I'm improving every weekend, every race, and taking the positives away, and yeah, just improving, and that's all I can really do, and we'll slowly build up to the top.
Nice one, many congratulations. Thanks, Xavier. Thanks, Thomas. Well done, all the best. And I think what we'll do now is we're going to head back round to the podium, which is up there. Caterham Graduates on track next. So I think in terms of the live stream, I can hand you back to the commentary box to do that. And I'm going to do circuit duties now with our podium upstairs. So let's hand you back to the comms box.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, one more